Please, can you see my screen, please? I just start sharing my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Quickly in the next 10 minutes.
Yes, I can see your screen.
All right. In the next 10 minutes, we should be done with what we're doing. Now, what we have here, I've used the time we were waiting to clean the HTML file and also the CSS file, so we can start working immediately. Remember your HTML file, Shift and 1 will give you a meta application. You press enter to bring out the blueprint. Now we are assuming we have the blueprint already. Now let's add our CSS to it by using the link CSS. Is somebody saying something? Is somebody saying something, please? Okay, I want to believe we can all hear me and you can see my screen too.
Yes, please.
Okay. We have our blueprint of HTML. We have the skeleton of the HTML. Let's see what we can do. Let me open the Figma. This is our Figma. Let me increase the size so we see what we're doing in Figma. Let me increase the size. We have somebody's mic is not mute. Please mute your mic. If you're not saying anything, please mute your mic so that I can know you don't have issue. You can unmute and speak so I can hear you. Now this is what we have. Let's see how we can create this first one where we have logo and about and work contacts. It's very easy. We have as you can see, that place is more like the header. It's more like the header. So we can either put it inside the header, we can segment it. Remember we did segment, schematic structure of the HTML where we have the header, we have the name, and we have the footer. So let's just use that also. Main, header, and footer. You can decide to do yours like this. You can just decide to start using the navbar immediately. But whichever way you do it is still correct. Every developer does what works for him or her. Now we have the main, head, and footer. Now this particular one is supposed to be on the header because it's at the top. So it's going to be on the header. That's where the logo comes in place and also other links. So inside the header, we have to make that to be in a box. Let's assume this one that we have here is the header. Now this one, remember I said this one is on his box on a box on his own, while this one is on a box on his own. So we could have here, we could say a navbar if we like to use a navbar. But let me just use div so that now this div we have, let's say we have two divs. The two divs is holding the two different boxes. This first one is for this one having just this logo, while the second div is for this three. Now in this one is just let's say it's an H1. So let's have an H1 inside this div. H1, and we'll call it logo. Same thing they called it. While this other one, they have three different links with different pages. So you see, my IntelliSense is already giving me a navbar having something like that. I could use it like that. Let's use it like that. We have contact, service, home, about, and home. But what they have there is they have only about, work, and contact. So let's Let's remove this home. Don't need the home. We have about, work, and contact. This is work. So when I save, we have logo, about, work, and contact. Now let's quickly see how we can style this header so that it will look exactly like that. But before we do that, let's go live. Let's see how our page is looking like. Let's see how our page is looking like. Oh, this is not supposed to be here. I'm gonna remove it. Already has some. See if we just. Now this is how it is looking like. You have the logo, you have about, you have work, and you have contact. But this is not the same thing as what we have here. Now, how can we make it this way? The only way we can make it this way is first, since the header is the parent container that is covering the two divs, we could go over to our CSS and just say header, because we only have one header. That is why I'm using header. We don't have any other header. And even we have another header, I would have used the class to indicate this particular one. But because we have only one header, I just used it like that. Header, then I'm going to say display what? Display should be flex. The display flex. Now we have said display flex. Now when we check it, let's see what we've done. As you can see, the logo is this side, while the about is by the side of the logo. Now we have to spread them, we have to space them. But before we space them, let's see how we can quickly edit this about so that it will look like this particular one, just plain text. It is not underlined, there's no ring beside it. There's no ring beside it, and we don't have any underline. Let's see how we can remove that using CSS. Now when we come back here, you see we have LI and we have UR. Let's work on the LI. So we could come here and say LI, list style none. When you use the list style none on the LI, it's going to remove that bullet beside it. Now it has removed the bullet. Now how can we remove this underline here? The only way we can remove the underline here, if you check here, you have A is wrapping it. This about is being wrapped with an A. So let's target this A. I could put it inside the LI because the LI is inside, sorry, the A is inside the LI. So it's the same way here. I can come here and say A text decoration none, color black. This text decoration none is saying I don't want it to be underlined. I want to remove that underline that I'm seeing there. So that is the property. As you can see, we have made it look like what we have on our Figma. Please, am I too fast? Hello, am I too fast?
No, good.
Okay. Fisayo, do you understand what we just did now?
Yes, I understand.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I said I understand. I understand.
Okay. So we are good to go. Randy, I want to believe we are good to go. Now, what we have
Yes,
here
yes.
is just, so if you check the properties we've used thus far, we've used list style. We said this list style is just to remove that bullet. So you can note that down that, oh, whenever I see list style, it's used to remove bullet from list. While text decoration is used to remove underline from anchor tag. Color is used to change the text, color of the text. Now we've done that, but we've not made this text. Remember, in our Figma file, they all stood side by side. They are not standing like this. Now, how can we make it stay side by side. The only way we can make it side by side is by making it a flex. What are we making a flex? Let's come back. We have to either make this UL a flex so that to make them stay one side, or we'll make the nav is for us to use the immediate parent direct parent container, which is this UL. So I'm going to target this UL. I'll come here and I say UL. I'm going to display it as flex. If I display it as flex, let me remove these other properties that this IntelliSense is giving me. If I display it as flex and check if it has worked, see it has worked. They have all stood side by side. Now, how can I space them to the side? For me to space them, I have to use gap, or I use padding. Either I use gap 20 pixel or I use padding. If I use padding, it's still going to give it the same. As you can see, gap is giving it space by the side, and that is what we have on our Figma. Now remember, they are spaced apart. The logo is by the left hand side, while the about, work, and contact is by the right hand side. Now, how can we achieve that? It's by going back to the header and give it a justify content space between. Remember, we made mention of space between. If I say align items also to center, remember what align items does and what justify content does. Now, when we save it and check, you see they have spaces apart and they are all on the same line. But this is not what we wanted. There is space by the right hand side and also there is space by the left hand side. How can we achieve that? Remember, we have to change this one to space words. Let's try space around. Let's see if it is going to give us what we are looking for. Save. Check. Oh, this one is too far apart. See, it is almost the space here is not as this space here. This would have been what we are looking for, but this is not exactly what we are looking for. This one needs to come to this side. This one needs to come to this side. Now, the only way we could achieve that is for us to change this space around to let's use space evenly. Let's see if space evenly will work. Oh, space evenly did not work, so we have to change it to space between. Space between, then we have what is space between, then we have what is known as margin. We have margin left and margin right. If we use, let's use padding. Let's see what padding will do. Let's see if padding will give us padding has given us what we are looking for. Padding, there is a space here and also there is a space here. Now it being we don't want also because we use padding. Note. Oh, please dropping message. I didn't we use padding. We use just padding 20 pixels, meaning there is padding by the top, the right, the left, and the bottom. But if we don't want to put padding at the top and the bottom, we have to come here to change this one to padding right. Or we can remember we said if you use two values, it's going to be top and bottom, while left and right. The first one is for top and bottom, which is we can make this one 0 and make the other one 20 pixels. This is what we are going to have. This is exactly what we are looking for. Please, did anybody notice any difference between the two? Please unmute and speak. Did you notice any difference between when we are just padding 20 pixels? Let me Ctrl Z it. Watch, observe very well. This is padding 20 pixels. Watch this one very well. Now, when I go back and I do this one 0 and this the other part 20 pixels, did you observe anything?
I didn't observe anything on.
Okay. Who else again did not observe anything? Fisa, did you observe anything? Hello, Fisa, did you observe anything? It is very important
No,
to observe.
no, I did not
Okay.
observe anything.
Okay. Now watch. Watch. You have to observe something. Let's give it a background color. Maybe it will help us to observe it very well. Let's say background color of this. Let's use a darker background color. Let's use this. Though we don't want to have it, but let's just use the background color so that we'll see what I'm looking for. See, observe very well. Look at the way this one is. When we have padding 0 pixel and this one. Now let me remove this 0 pixel and just have only 20 pixel. Adding 20 pixels. Save it. Let's see. Did you observe anything?
Yes.
What did you observe, please?
For the padded 20 ps, as you
Yes.
explained, it worked for both top, bottom, the right, left.
Very good, very good. Why the other one that we have 0 and 20
Zero.
pixels?
Worked for already left and right.
God bless you. Very good. That's what I wanted you to observe. So you must take note of these things and how they work. That is why I have to repeat it again so you understand. If you see, this one is bigger because it applied 20 pixels at the top, the left, the top, the right, the bottom, and also the left because we did 20 pixel normal. But if we say 0 pixel and 20 pixel, we are applying 0 pixel at the top and bottom, which is the first one, and we are applying 20 pixels at the left and right. Now, if you save and check, you find out that that header is going to look smaller. It's smaller. Have you seen it? So that
Yes.
is what I want you to observe. So let me go and remove that
I've
color
seen.
black again. Let me remove that color because we don't need it in our Figma file. It is not there. You could leave it as yours. You could use yours. That is why I said you could look at the Figma file, see what they design, try to replicate it, and use your own colors. So we can decide to say, let's leave our color like that. Is it not beautiful? The color we used was beautiful, right?
Yes.
So we can leave our own like this. We can say this is what we want to achieve. Lo and behold, um, everyone, we just achieved this. Are they not looking the same? So it's more like we are representing this, we are turning this picture or this image, this design to codes that we can see and we can have. Now we are done with this one. As you can see, we made everything a box and we use the flex to differentiate them. This one is the link that goes to about, this one is the link that goes to work, and this one is the link that goes to contact. Though they don't work yet because we did not link them to anything in our HTML. We did not link them to anything. So I have successfully aligned or designed the header of that page. Now I have to start working on the main, which has this, the main has this particular one here. This is the first part of the main where you have the brand image, the visual design, and this one. This is what you have here. Now, how can we achieve this? Let's quickly see how we can achieve this. As you can see, this is the box. This one is in the main. This one also is in the main. Every other page, every other thing here are on the main. So we have to segment them. Either we use sections to divide them or we use div to divide them. I can come here and write div and just leave it like that and create other divs to it. Or I could come here and just say section 1.
Something to ask. Sorry. Sorry
Okay, I can
for.
hear you. No, it's fine.
Is the class recorded? Because I have something to
Yes,
attend to now.
yes, I
Okay, I
am
think I'm
recording the class. It will be
okay.
posted.
Okay. All
All
right.
right,
I have something to attend to. Okay.
all right, there's no problem. Now we have section. This could be our section. We could call it because we will have different sections. So we can say this one is class section 1. Can name it section 1. So whatever we are styling will only affect the section 1. That is why we have section 1. Inside this section 1, if you watch, we have two boxes. The box holding this one and the box holding this image. So when we come back here, we could say two divs. Div asterisk 2. As we are multiplying two divs. Now we have two different divs. Now I could say this one, the class is sec div 1 to make sure it is this section 1 div 1. Why this other one? Let me just copy this and paste it here, just in case we want to style it in the future. We'll call this one sec div 2. Now inside this first div, what do you have? Which is this design. You have different texts. You have p text. This is a p text. This is an h2 text. This is a p text, and this is a button. So let's have that. We have p text. We have h2. We have p, and we also have a button. That is what we have there. Now in the button, what is the encryption of the button? Contact, visual designer. Let's add those two. We have contacts, and the H2 carries visual designer. Now the first P carries what? Branding, image making. Okay, let's have that. Branding, image making. That is what we have there. Image making. By the last other P, what does it carry? This is let's just use Lorem, please, so that we'll not waste our time. Lorem 5. Let's use Lorem 5. Now when we save, we go and check how it is. Sorry. Go and check how it is. You find out that it is just standing straight. Now this other one is carrying, the second one is carrying an image. Let me see if I have an image here. Okay, there's an image. Let's just have that image there. ./images/f2 image. Now when we save and check, see the way it is, the image is down. Please don't mind the image, I just use this image. Now the image is down, everything is just standing straight. Now let's see how we can style it so that it will look like what we have there. Now you remember everything is inside this parent. The section is the parent container. So we'll go and collect that section. Remember that section, we give it a class name of section 1. Sorry, not just section 1. So we'll come back here and we target it, or we select it, section 1. Section 1. We'll give it a display of flex. Give it a display of flex. Remember the content, let's see how the content is so that we won't waste much time. The content are more like they are justified to center and they are also aligned to center. So let's have that too. Just justify content to center, align content to center too. If we save, let's see how it is now. Let's see what we have. Oh, We've not saved. Let's save it. Yeah, man. I don't think I saved it earlier. Okay, this is what we have. Here you see the image and the text are more like they came too close to each other. Now, how can we easily separate them? Could either separate them using margin. We'll come here and say, let's first separate. Let's separate this particular div from this header so that it will not be touching the header. So that it will not be touching the header. How can we separate it? We can use margin. Can margin this section 1. Can come here and say margin top. Margin top. Give it margin top of 5 pixels. If we save, check, you find out that there's a space between them now. It is no longer touching it. You can give it, add more margin to it. If you feel like you want to add more margin to it, and add more margin to it so that it will come down very well, it will be visible very well, that there's space there. Now let's separate these two together. For us to separate it, we could use our gap. Remember, gap can separate it. Can use our gap here. When we use gap 20 pixels, let's see how separated it can be. This is not what we wanted. We want it to spread very well. So you can go back and just increase this one to maybe 80 pixels. Let's save and check. 80 pixel 2 is not really working for it. Let's use 150 pixel. Okay, at some point it is if we increase the size of this one, we could increase the size of this one so that it is going to be bigger than this particular one. How do we increase the size of one? Let's go back. We call this one sec div 1. Now if I come to this CSS and highlight that sec div 1, sec div 1, if I give it a width of 300, let me remove, or let me say the width is 70%. This 70% is 70% of the parent directory. I give it, if I save it, give the display of flex, justify content to center, align items. This is what we are going to have. I've not saved. Oh, I now put dots. You must always take note. Dot sec div 1 so that it will select that particular one. And this is what we have. Whereas this is not exactly what we wanted from it. So let's go back and change this. We need to add flex direction to column. Flex direction to column. Flex direction to column. Change the flex direction to column so that everything will stand on their own. They will stand one after the other. Now this is what you have. Remember, it is that padding 150 that is making it too much, giving it that much space. Let's reduce this gap. Sorry, this gap to 120. Let's remove this background color. We don't need it. Save it and check. This is what we have. So we can also still design it more. So that's exactly how you can design it. We have done the section 1. We move over to the next one, which is the section 2. though we did not do it exactly. See, everything here is not justified to center. Everything is not justified, sorry, aligned to center here. Everything is by the right hand side. So we have to try as much as possible to replicate that by removing these align items to center, align items to flex stats. So let's try flex stats. Save it and check. Everything is coming to this edge here, which is not what we wanted. We just remove that align items totally. Okay, now that we have this, these contacts could reduce the size, could work on it if we keep working on it. So that is exactly how you turn the design into, let me bring that back. Let's just have it right center. So this is exactly how you turn your visual designs into codes. Does anybody have a question? So we can stop here.
Please, I do.
Okay, what is your question, please?
Okay, so is it possible instead of using display flex and face direction column, why don't we use display block?
Why don't we use display blocks?
Uh,
Actually, what I thought here is flex box. That is why I'm using more of flex box. But for display block, it will still give us the same thing. That it will give us the same. It will make everything become a block tag. Nothing will be by the side. That is exactly what block does. It will make it not to be by the side. It will just align. Everything will just be like this. Everything will be like this. So at some point, if you're using flex boxes, it is paramount to use flex because flex gives you that. Block does not give you that flexibility for you to um, work on all the items. You could use display blocks now, and it will restrict you from carrying out some designs or some CSS codes. But when you use flex, and it will now make it flexible, you can tune it or twist it the way you want. I want to believe I have answered that.
okay.
You can
Thank
still
you.
use block to give you the same thing, but because we are looking at flex buses to make it flexible, you can still add more stylings to it. It will not restrict you. That is why we are using the flex. And we are changing the direction because flex ordinarily gives you in row. But if you don't want your items to be in row, you have to change the flex direction to become column. That's why you can achieve this.
Okay.
Any other question, please? Does anybody have any other question? So we can call it a day. All right. In absence of no further question, I want to say thank you very much for your patience, for making it at night. Tomorrow, we'll move over to Tailwind CSS. We'll try as much as possible to use Tailwind CSS so we can know how we can work on our project. Do have a
Oh,
wonderful
is
night.
it Tailwind?
Tailwind CSS.
Okay.
Tailwind CSS.
Okay.
By
Thank
tomorrow,
you
I
so
will
much.
use it. So we'll see how we use it. So I'll try as much as possible to make tonight's video to be available so that we can also rewatch it before tomorrow's class. Thank you very much. Do have a wonderful night rest and a blessed week ahead.
And you too, amen. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank